Oh, hello. Didn't see you there. What was that? You looked at my guild guide and now you're affluent? But you're poor in fun. Well, look no further. Today, I aim to introduce you to the Manderville Gold Saucer. Today we'll go over what the Golden Saucer is, what there is to do, and how to earn its bounty of prizes. So first off, what is the Manderville Golden Saucer? Essentially, the Golden Saucer is a locale hosting a variety of side games and minigames, some smaller and some bigger, offering achievements, prizes, and titles for participation. Its prizes come in form of various cosmetic items, mounts, and minigame items purchasable through MGP, which you earn upon activity completion. It hosts a suite of 4 main games, namely Chocobo Racing, Triple Triad, Lords of Verminion, and Dome and Mah-Jong. In addition to these, it also has a series of minigames, as well as their own special event, the Gates. The Gates are a group of objective-based Fate-like events which occurs thrice an hour at the full 20 and 40 minute marks. The current active gates are Anyway the Wind Blows, Cliffhanger, Leap of Faith, Air Force One, and The Slice is Right. Furthermore, it hosts 3 daily and weekly events, namely the Mini and Jumbo Cactpot and the Fashion Report. The main games. Going alphabetically, Chocobo Racing is the first of the 4 main games. This game has 2 different modes. First one being a challenge mode sporting NPC races with various goals and objectives. As you go up in tiers, you will require Chocobos of higher star rankings and pedigrees to participate, which you can get from Chocobo breeding. Successful completion will grant first-time MGP prizes as well as access to more items and abilities for your racing Chocobo. The second mode is pure racing. Your Chocobo will be assigned to a bracket based on its stats and level, and you will be matched with a mix of NPCs and players. You will receive MGP rewards based on finishing position and bracket. Next up is Dome and Mah-Jong. This seems to be a true-to-life adaptation of Japanese Mah-Jong. While possibly the least played of the 4 main games, it sports its own weekly challenge log rewards and some pretty prestigious titles. It can be quite hard to get into, but I will link a few guides and tutorials in the description box below. Next is Lords of Verminion. Lords of Verminion is essentially a simplified tower defense in which you can control minions to defend your towers and objectives from the opponent, while also taking down theirs. The winner is decided when all 3 towers are down. Like the other main games, it has a set of weekly log challenges as well as weekly tournaments with sizable MGP rewards. Each of your earned minions are playable, yes, even the primals, with different typings, abilities, and attacks. Also, yes, for the StarCraft-oriented, Surge rushing is possible. Last among the main games is Triple Triad. The only one to take place both in and outside of the Golden Saucer, it sports a suite of weekly challenge logs and playable NPCs all over Eorzea. Furthermore, it sports bi-monthly tournaments as well as open tournaments every other hour, both of which gives fairly decent MGP and card pack rewards for participation and completion. If you're new to Triple Triad but want to get going, I made an all-inclusive beginner's guide, which I will link down in the description below. The minigames. The Golden Saucer sports a series of single-button minigames that has a few associated challenge logs as well as smaller MGP prizes. There's a grand total of 7 different games spread out across the Golden Saucer on its various floors and domes. The Gates. The Gates are a series of instance and non-instance objective-based games that occur 3 times an hour at the 00, 20, and 40 minute mark. You can talk to the various gate NPCs in the saucer to receive a note off and be taken to the location where the next gate will start. There are currently 5 active gates in the possible pool. Anyway the Wind Blows. The objective of the game is to stay on the platform through 5 rounds of the Atomus dropping AoE attacks randomly around on the platform. Each successful round survived increases the total MGP reward. Cliffhanger is a platformer taking place in the Golden Saucer. The objective is to make your way to the top of the current track, from which the game chooses randomly between 2, and talk to the Chocobo chick on top. Each of these events typically lasts for 10 minutes unless you retry by talking to the marked NPC should you fall down. Leap of Faith is an instance platformer minigame that has you collect bronze, silver, and gold statues along the way as you make your way to the end zone. In order to get a reward, you need to reach the end zone. However, many players elect to reach the end zone first without exiting before collecting statues in order to guarantee a reward in case they grow short on time. The gate chooses randomly between 2 map archetypes, each with their own possible layouts. You receive a base reward for completing the course, which increases based on how many statues you collect. Air Force 1 has you ride a pre-patterned track where the objective is to shoot down various targets that appear along the ride, while avoiding the super sneaky bombs that occur along the way. You receive a reward based on the score you get, with an extra boost for a perfect run. Last of the current gates is the Slice is Right. This gate consists of 3 rounds with 2 intermission phases. In the main rounds, Yojimbo will slice increasing amounts of bamboo pillars to fall in certain positions on the platform. The objective is to dodge the resulting AoEs to remain on the platform. The first intermission round has Yojimbo's pet bounce around to retrievable coin piles. If he hits you, you get knocked off. The second intermission has 3 zones, 2 safe and 1 that will be knocked off. Which is determined at random. Your total MGP reward is based on how many rounds you survived, as well as any extra points you get in the intermission phases. Finally, we have the 3 daily and weekly activities. First is the mini cactpot, essentially a scratch-off game in which you reveal 3 slots before picking a lane, with the 1, 2, 3 and 7, 8, 9 combos giving the most points. The highest possible reward is 10,000 MGP. This activity can be done 3 times a day. Next is the Jumbo Cactpot. This is essentially a lottery. You can buy 3 tickets for any drawing, and the drawing happens every Sunday. Typically, the minimum reward will be 1.3k per ticket, but if you get the Cactpot, you can move up and over 1 million. The last weekly is the Fashion Report. Opening up during the weekends, the Fashion Report has you assemble an outfit based on certain item descriptors, which in turn earns you a rating and an MGP reward. You are guaranteed 10,000 from base participation, with an additional 50,000 if you score above 80 points, for a total of 60,000 per week. While you get 4 attempts per week, do note that you only get each of the payouts once per week. If you wonder about the cheapest possible combinations each week, Kaiyoko Star, or Kaiyoko Star on Twitter, makes excellent weekly summaries, which I will link down in the descriptions below. So now that you know all the activities that takes place at the Golden Saucer, if you want to maximize your MGP earned efficiently per week, I would suggest doing the gates, minigames, triple triad and Lords of Verminion until you complete their noted challenge logs. If you know how to do so effectively, adding in Mah-Jong and chocobo racing related ones is also a good idea. And of course, do the fashion log, mini and jumbo cactpot whenever available. If you time your logs with the bi-monthly triple triad tournaments and weekly Lords of Verminion tournaments, you should be able to get fairly decent price MGP while also checking off your challenge logs. Furthermore, since few people tend to participate in the Lords of Verminion tournaments, it shouldn't be too hard to achieve a high rank to really boost your weekly MGP income. Doing all of the above, you should be able to average somewhere between 100 and 220,000 weekly just by doing your challenge logs, meaning that wanted cloud card, expensive mounts and glams are mere weeks away instead of months. Hopefully, this guide clarified the Manderville Gold Saucer for you. If you have any questions, feedback or other input, feel free to leave them in the comments down below. If you enjoyed the video, feel free to drop a like. If you want more content like this, feel free to subscribe or catch my streams over on Twitch from 2 to 5 PM PDT on Mondays, Wednesdays and Fridays. As always, I wish you a wonderful day and a wonderful week. Have a nice one.